Events. So it's an honor to call them up here today. I need y'all to put your hands together and show a lot of love for Atlas. Although I love that regular shit you got on. And the yours.
I just want to preface this real quick. Usually in poetry you never have to apologize, but I do want to preface this by saying I do realize that some people have lost those that they care for due to COVID. This is not glorification of COVID. This is my experience. And I think that one of the reasons why we felt compelled, not we, but we as a society felt compelled to attack each other on social media the last few years is because we had all of this anger and all of this negativity. And it was all perpetuated by something that doesn't have a face or a name or constantly changes its name. But essentially, we didn't know what to do with that energy. And so, unfortunately, we did what we all too often as humans do, and we took it out on the people we care for. So, I decided that my therapy was going to be to personify the virus, and I was going to do what a writer does and write to COVID. This is my letter to COVID. Dear COVID, in case you're looking for me, I won't be home. I won't be stress eating or smoking one cigarette after another. I won't be drinking myself numb, barely allowing myself to sleep, because that would make things way too easy for you. If and when we meet, I will not be staring at a screen, obsessing over every little detail about you, where you're at, where you're going, because you're a virus, not an X. I'll admit, at first, I was spending a lot of time asking all sorts of questions about you. Where did you come from? Where are you going? Will you get stronger? How many lives will you impact before you're gone? We fear what we don't understand. But I've had time to realize that it was never you I was afraid of. As it turns out, I didn't need to learn more about you. I needed to learn more about myself. I had been so concerned with losing my life, and yet, if I'm being honest, not too long ago, I didn't even know what I wanted to do with my life. So I started asking myself the same exact questions I asked about you. Where did I come from? Where am I going? Will I get stronger? How many lives will I impact before I'm gone? You see, I should be mad at you. So many people are. But I'm not. I'm really upset and disappointed in myself. I was asleep when you woke me. And I almost stayed asleep long after the alarm went off. But then these calls came in from people I hardly ever hear from, people who don't even call me on my birthday. My phone started ringing. And the effect was contagious, apparently just as contagious as you, because I started calling people I hadn't spoken to in a while. All the time away from work, all the time away from others, has shown me what I really look like. I was always so concerned with my appearance. Just the morning routine alone was exhausting and stressful. You see, I would wear clothes that I hoped would make me look thinner than I am. I would wear shoes that I hoped would make me look taller, jewelry to make me look wealthier, and then hop into a vehicle I can barely afford just to drive to my job, to just barely get the means to buy these costumes. It's so strange. They want me to put on a face mask, but as it turns out, I've been wearing a mask for almost my whole life. It's so much easier to breathe without all that added weight of putting on a performance, trying to be what everyone else thought I was, because I worked so hard to get them to think that way. It's easier to breathe now, ironically, and I find myself doing it with far more gratitude. I keep wondering when you'll stop, when the world will go back to how I remember it, but the more I think about it, the more I hope it never goes back to how it was. What I'm really saying is, I don't want to go back to who I was. There was so much about me I wasn't really all that happy with. I think a lot of us are experiencing that. See, because I just kept distracting myself with any gadget, drink, or drug I could find. But you forced me to spend some quality time with the one person I've been neglecting the most. You forced me to sit in a room with the one person I spent so much time trying to avoid. Myself. I've been forced to sit in my house and look at how much I have filled it with emptiness. Shit I didn't really need, that I bought with money I didn't really have to spend, that I put on a shelf, never touched, and apparently never bothered to clean. Countless times people have told me, whatever doesn't kill you only makes you stronger. Many of those people aren't living by those standards. But I, somehow I am. It's never meant as much as it does in this moment. All the energy I spent being afraid of dying has turned into a desire to actually live. Not just maintain a pulse or a paycheck, but actually be present in my life and those I care for. The ones I've been so afraid of losing and so afraid of losing me. We finally have something. I've been finally afforded the time to look at the seemingly endless photos, thousands upon thousands, the seemingly endless photos I took. And doing so has taught me a very valuable lesson, that life is not about capturing the moment. It's about allowing the moment to capture us. I could sit at home, gain weight, watch TV, avoid everyone I care for, and blame you for it. I mean, hell, a lot of people are doing that. But I won't. I can't. I'm so sick of blaming everyone and everything. In school, it was my teachers. At work, it's my employer. Every relationship is always them. I'm so sick of blaming everyone because I have accomplished nothing as a result of doing that. It's on me. So like I said, I most likely won't be home when you come by. I'll probably be on my bike, attempting to move faster than I think you can, saying hello to the people brave enough to go outside in the open air. Okay. Sorry, I don't mean to. I just never thought that I would be demonized for leaving my house and going for a walk. Anyway. Sorry. The rebel youth inspired has decided on a different tactic than isolation. Because I have spent enough of my life to know that isolation doesn't heal, isolation hurts, isolation kills. And for every one person who has died because you entered their lungs, for every one person you have supposedly taken, the isolation you brought into the world has taken 3 times that. It wasn't COVID that took my niece. It was a month and a half of her sitting with her 10-month-old son without anybody willing to sit with her and share a space with her. Look, COVID, or whatever the fuck you go by now, sweet Jesus, keep changing your name. If your only goal was to kill me, you succeeded. Because the person I was when you showed up is gone. Long gone. And I guess in some weird way, I have you to thank for that. So I'll be the weird guy who finishes his piece by saying, thanks, COVID. Thanks for doing what I didn't have the courage to do. To spend time looking at who I was, and time away from distractions to figure out who I want to be and who I want to be for others. Thank you.
Keep that going for Atlas, y'all.